Chicago Bears Now is presented by Magic Spoon. Guys, get $5 off the highest protein packed cereal on the market. It's childlike cereal for grown-ups. 13 grams of protein, 4 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar. Get $5 off at magicspoon.com/bears. We also have a link available for you guys in the comments and in the description. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. Let's get into some Bears off-season winners. I'm your host, as always, Harrison Graham. And hey, there's a lot of winners to dissect this offseason because it was kind of an up and down offseason, kind of a weird free agency, and then, of course, a great draft. We got to start in the front office with Ryan Pace, your general manager, and yes, I'm going to loop in your head coach as well, Matt Nagy. Hey, what can we say about this duo? They've been under fire. They were highly scrutinized. I kind of thought at least firing Pace after last season made a lot of sense, and Nagy should have entered this year on the hot seat, but they had a great draft. What can you say? You trade up for Justin Fields. You go up and get Tevin Jenkins, who can play either tackle spot. Larry Borum was great value, the tackle out of Missouri, in the 5th round as well. Love the later picks. Also, Khalil Herbert, I think he's going to be a kind of a shifty, dynamic running back when he gets opportunities. Daz Newsome is a player I'm high on. I like Thomas Graham Jr. I think eventually he could be a starting nickel in this league. And then Kyrus Tonga in round 7 was a good pick. Like, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy crushed the NFL draft. Now, that doesn't mean that they've both had great tenures. That doesn't mean that that completely forgives them of some poor decisions in the past, but we have to give credit where it's due. They were winners this offseason. There is simply no doubt about that when it comes to the Chicago Bears. Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, round of applause, because I think they bought themselves some time and are off the hot seat for at least the short term. Who deserves more credit, by the way, for how that draft went? Type MN for Matt Nagy, type RP for Ryan Pace. Get your votes in on this one. You can type B for both if you want, but MN or RP on who deserves more credit for this draft. Now, we mentioned today's show is sponsored by Magic Spoon, and get that $5 off at that link on your screen, magicspoon.com/Bears. And guys, this cereal has changed my life. Tons of different flavors. I love the peanut butter, probably my favorite one, but the cocoa, the frosted, the fruity, they're all fantastic, and they taste better than your mainstream cereal you've probably been eating your entire life, and it's healthy for you. That's the key here. 0 grams of sugar. That is an absolute game changer, especially as you get older, because, hey, when you're young, you're 10, you're 12 years old, not a big deal when you go out on Halloween and eat all this candy and stuff that's high in fat and sugar. No big deal. You get older, though, that stuff adds up. Your body cannot maintain that much sugar. So get Magic Spoon. Cut out that mainstream cereal because it's just gallons of sugar going straight into your bloodstream. Get $5 off at magicspoon.com/Bears. Get a variety pack. You can get a pack of 4 where you can try some of the different flavors as well, and you can still get that $5 off. magicspoon.com/Bears. We'll have a link in the comments. We'll have a link in the description. Pick your favorite flavor and shop today at Magic Spoon. One more time, that link is magicspoon.com/Bears. Let's keep it rolling with some Bears offseason winners. Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver, entering his 2nd season, had a big or solid rookie campaign, I should say, last year with over 60 catches, 631 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But I really thought the story for Mooney last year was missed opportunities from below-average quarterbacks in Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. Drafting Justin Fields was a game changer for this franchise as a whole, but especially for a guy like Darnell Mooney. I think Fields was the best deep ball thrower in this draft. So you get him in here with a deep ball threat in Mooney, that's a great potential tandem there. Now, obviously, we got to see it come to fruition. We got to see what happens. But I think this selection of Fields is great for Darnell Mooney. I think it really can help untap his full potential because, I mean, you guys have seen the clip of the Rams game where he absolutely just bodies Jalen Ramsey on a double moon where he falls down and Nick Foles throws it out of bounds, basically. Now, part of that was the offensive line not holding up, but the point remains the same. The offense has gotten better as a whole. I think the O-line is better. The field should be great. And a guy like Darnell Mooney is going to benefit from that greatly, in my opinion. And hey, if you love Darnell Mooney, just spam the moon emoji in the comments. If you don't have access to emojis, maybe you're watching on your desktop, just type MOON for moon because, hey, Darnell Mooney, I think he's going to be a good player for a long time in Chicago. Let's keep it rolling here. A lot of offense here. Jimmy Graham, the tight end. And why is he an offseason winner? Well, the Bears didn't cut him. That's a big win for Jimmy Graham. I mean, they opted to cut a guy like Kyle Fuller instead, which obviously saved the Bears more money than cutting Graham did. But Jimmy Graham, I think, surprised us with his 8 touchdowns last year and certainly had a quality season. But his $10 million cap hit is pretty high for this year. And the fact that the Bears decided to keep him and not cut him, that's a win for Jimmy Graham. He continues to cash in, he gets the bag, and he gets to continue to play for a team looking to contend and mentor a guy like Cole Kmet. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and call Jimmy Graham a stiff or something like that. He's still a guy that can play and a guy that has value in the red zone. But when he signed that 2-year, $16 million contract last year, it was really a 1+1. We all thought, okay, he'll play 1 year, then they'll cut him next year because he's old. That hasn't happened, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So for him to remain on this roster, to prove to this team he still has value, that's a big win for him, and he deserves a lot of credit for coming out, playing well last year, and being that locker room leader type to keep around within this organization. Should the Bears have cut Jimmy Graham? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in down in the comments section. Subscribe to youtube.com/BearsNow, Chicago Bears Now, here on the channel because, hey, daily videos, news, rumors, live shows on Tuesdays, mailbags where you guys submit your questions and we answer them. And we do fun segments like this, off-season winners. We're going to do off-season losers. We'll do it all here on Chicago Bears Now. And me, when it's the most fun, the regular season. We're going to do some watch parties. I know producer Sam's fired up about that. youtube.com/BearsNow. Subscribe today. Don't miss any of our coverage, especially once we get into the regular season. Last winner, kind of similar to the last one, Desmond Trufant, who has yet to play it down with this team. But the reason he's a winner, in my opinion, is he was flat out bad last year for the Detroit Lions, and the Bears haven't really done anything to say, hey, you're clearly not going to have a chance to start. There's a pretty good chance, and dare I say, he likely will start as your CB2 despite playing poorly last year. Now, Sean Desai has spoken highly of Kendall Vildor, so has Matt Nagy. I think a guy like Artie Burns could surprise and get into the mix there. But as of now, Trufant's your starter, and you would not have thought that after an injury-riddled year a season ago with the Lions. You would have thought the Bears would have brought in someone else. I thought they should have signed Bashaud Breeland. They did not. So that's a win for Trufant because he's likely going to start for this football team, and he probably did not know if that would be a realistic possibility as he's aging, had some injuries, and just frankly has not played well in a couple of years. So those are my 5 Bears offseason winners: Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, Darnell Mooney, Jimmy Graham, and Desmond Trufant. But who's the biggest Bears offseason winner? Maybe it's someone I'm not thinking about. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Biggest Bears offseason winner this offseason.